Welcome everybody to the LUAG Family Day photo workshop with Christa Neu. I'm Stacy Brennan. I'm the curator of education from the Lehigh University Art Galleries, and I am so excited to be here with you today to tell you a little bit about the art galleries. We have nearly 17,000 works of art from diverse time periods and cultures. So we have artists from all over the world that we put into different exhibitions. We have 7 galleries on campus, and we use these works to inspire us to think about different perspectives from people from all over the world and ways to inspire our own creations. And today we're here to look at works from Taking It to the Streets, which is street photography from our collection. So photographers from all over the world and how they document their community, their environment, their neighborhoods, looking at different ways of seeing the world and storytelling through photography. Capturing different people who might have roles within their family, roles within their neighborhood or their communities, and documenting kind of different times in history and present day. And with that, we're going to use those photographs to inspire us to take our own photographs. And we are going to be given tips from professional photographer Christa Neu, who is a photographer and photo editor for Lehigh University. Christa has a wonderful wealth of experience in both photography and also creating her own artwork. And we're so lucky to have her here with us today. So I'm going to turn it over to Christa to give us some tips.
So hello, I am happy to be with you all here this morning. I wanted to talk to you today about using photography as a way to tell stories and also as a way to document your life to create history. So my undergrad degree is in history and I went to grad school for photography. And so this art show actually kind of combines 2 of the things that I love, this exhibit. And I wanted to show you ways that you can document your world. And we're going to start doing indoor stuff first because we've spent increasingly more time indoors doing school and work. And then we'll move for some ideas for outside. So here's some pictures from my family. And I wanted to show you this today because if you'll notice, the pictures on the left are studio pictures, right? And they're very beautiful and you can tell the era they're taken in. But for me, the snapshots and family photos and candid photos are more interesting, and I have always studied them growing up. I tend to process things through context, and so there's a picture in the center of my great-great-grandmother lying in bed in the farmhouse. It's a glass plate negative that's cracked in half. That's what that line is. And then next to it is a picture of my mom in my canopy bed from when I was little, and I took that picture. But I think that I have always stared at what else is going on in the photos as a way to see the details. You can see my books on my shelf in the closet in that room and the pictures I had hanging on the wall. And it gives you a sense of time. Like the picture of my grandfather on his bike, you can see the bike and the clothes he's wearing, and the barn from the farm is in the background, and you just get little hints of history. And you don't have to be a professional photographer to document the world around you. And there's so much of interest in the way we all see things. So I want to give you some tips today. So in the next slide, some ways you can start to think of telling stories is think about what your world looks like right now and how are you spending the hours in your day. That's a really good starting point for how you do storytelling with your camera or your camera phone. So this is one good way is night and day. I have this square bookshelf and I took all the books out of one of the cubes, and I was I'm inspired by cropping in pictures you'll see later in the show that's hanging up in the art gallery. But this is what my desk looks like in the morning when I start work through one side of the bookcase, and at the end of the day I took a picture through the other side of the bookcase to see what my bed looks like at night. So it's just a simple way of telling night and day in my world. Detail shots are another cool way. You could give yourself a project to take a picture 1 hour of every day. So here's just an example of morning in the next slide. We have, what does the light look like when I first open my eyes? You might have cool things in your house that give off light. It's not a particularly stunning picture, but I was really obsessed with the way the blue light of the tea kettle comes on when the water's boiling. And then I just did an overhead picture of what my breakfast looked like. But that's just a record of one morning I had in April. Think about things you love. Do you love reading? Think about what it looks like inside the book when it's on the blanket and you're reading, or think about what the books look like on your nightstand. And you can find these like beautiful, peaceful moments in looking at things inside and out. And the next slide is, I think at this time especially, don't let your parents say, I have quarantine hair, don't take my picture. Just document your family in this time. You're all spending so much more time together these days, and I think you'll want to remember that. Like, you can learn things from this picture. This is a really cool Lehigh professor and her husband, and so you can see that they have a relationship to Lehigh with the clothes that they're wearing. You can tell that this picture was taken in early spring with the blossoms on the trees, and they're in a spot they love in their backyard. And another good thing is you could bring your family outside to the front porch. And this is a really good tip if your grown-ups are taller than you, because if you have them sit down on the front step, they're going to be a little closer to your eye level. And you have all these great details of what the front door looked like and your doormat. And this was, the professor is teaching from home. And so he has his laptop that he reaches his class with, and then his son is holding the textbook for the class. So there's a whole bunch of storytelling going on here. So next, this one you need to get permission for, but all of your devices will have a self-timer for the camera, and this is super fun. You can prop your phone up, and I stuck it in the refrigerator. I leaned it up where I did my office work, and I stuck it in the medicine cabinet to take a picture of what it looked like to go through my day. You could stick it in the mailbox if your mom says it's okay, or your dad, or whoever your grown-up is. Try sticking your phone in different places. Put it on self-timer. It is really fun. Next, we're going to do a small demonstration, but first I'm going to show you how I got to that point, and then we'll do a demo. We want to start small, and we're going to have you photograph your toys. And this is a way to look at composition and light, but also creating a mini studio in your workspace. So this might be the way that you would take a picture of your toys. This is my messy art table, is the surface, and it's a very normal way to take a picture, just a very obvious, natural way to take a picture. But in the next slide, if you'll look, I moved my phone, which is, I kind of went from here to kind of here, and it kind of gives you a different perspective. And the little dinosaurs, you can start to put little personalities on their faces, right? Like, I think the orange guy is friendly. He looks like he's coming up on the lead to take over from the other dinosaur who might be their boss. I don't know, you can just make up a story about it. So in the next slide, you'll see I have turned my phone upside down, and it gives you this really cool point of view. You get all of that out of focus foreground, but you'll notice the background has become distracting. So what I did, you could have a piece of paper or cardboard. I took the bottom of a Premise Made chocolate box because I like the shiny gold. And in the next slide, you'll see I made a little background. So your eye is really drawn towards the toys, but the light is a little bit harsh. So I went and I got my flashlight in the next frame, and I held it overhead to kind of bring some light in the picture. And I really love how the shadows look under the dinosaurs' tummies. There's this great shadow, but their faces are getting a little bit lost. So I'm going to show you how to take a piece of tinfoil and build a reflector card. And you'll see that the light is lighting up their faces, but you still have that shadow underneath. And I feel like this could be a movie poster. So let's go into a demo, and you can work along with me. I got a piece of tinfoil, and you can make a reflector card like we use in the pictures we take at work. You can use it on a cutting board or a notebook, but I'm just gonna wrap the tinfoil around so I have a little reflector card, and I'm gonna prop it up. I guess I should do it over here so you can kind of see. So I'm building a little photo studio just on my surface of my table, and you can do this in your room. You can kind of aim the light at the tinfoil, and I'll try to show you through my phone. And you can use multiple cards on both sides. So see, I have the flashlight off to the side here. You can just experiment around and really see what light looks best. Here I'm trying to light the orange guy a little more. You can do it overhead light and aim it around. I need like a third hand, but yeah, so you can just take some pictures like that. Some other things that you can use if you want to, you could bring in like a little mirror to aim light on people, dinosaurs. You can do anything as a backdrop. You might have like a favorite storybook, or I have a page of my art journal here. So you could actually build a little set where the dinosaurs are in a scene with like one of your drawings. You could make a background. And then I want to show you another quick thing before we go into our activity, because we want to see how you see the world. But if you didn't have a backdrop like that, I want to show you something that I used to do when I worked at the garden magazine. I'm going to pull my computer down here. I made a studio sometimes on a chair. So this is a cool old chair that was my grandmother's. It has kind of a neat falling apart painted surface on it. So that makes a good bottom. And you can either take one of your parents' tablecloths and kind of drape it over the back, right? And you can kind of prop it up, and then you can put your toys down here and use your reflector card and your flashlight. Or if you have a certain color, like this is a pretty fun color. I just have a t-shirt. So get a t-shirt from a grown-up because it'll be a little bigger than yours. And you can pull it over the chair like that. You might want to pin it, but you could put your toys in front of here, and then you'd have this neat backdrop of a wall. It's a little dark down here. It's a little wrinkly, but it'll go out of focus if you use portrait mode. So anyway, those are some things that you can do to build a little studio in your house with just things that you own already. So I want you to be thinking of all that when we go into this next exercise. Oh, I see Alexander too, hey. And so I want to show you some pictures now, because I'm going to have you go into your rooms and we're going to do a timed activity, but I want to show you what we're going to do first. So let's go back to the slides and talk about, and if your rooms are anything like my room, it's probably messy and it will be very easy to find things. But okay, so this is a photo project I did with kids in the student affairs office in the spring. And I want you to be thinking of a favorite color that you have, or something that you have in your toys that you have a lot of one color. Here for the examples, I did primary colors. So I looked for red, yellow, and blue. And we're gonna have a fun activity that you're gonna look for some colors in your room. And then you're gonna build a still life photo, and then we're gonna see how you see the world. So you'll see here, I just put things on a bookshelf, and it's just a simple composition, and I made a little collection. And you are all gonna have cooler toys than I have, right? Like I haven't had toys in a long time. So some of these are from very long ago, and my cameras. You don't have to take it on a bookshelf. You can do the shot from overhead, like these next pictures. So you can make a picture on a table or on the floor. And then for that, you just put all your belongings out and you kind of arrange them. And if you see how I made like a little control system, I have to say, grown-ups have been having fun with this photo exercise too. When I put one of these pictures up on Instagram over the summer, a lot of friends were showing me pictures they did with colors in their house. And I have to say, like, if you're an adult, when is the last time we have had this much time to hang out in our rooms? It's probably been since like middle school or high school. So seriously, try this after you help your kids do this today, because it's very fun and relaxing. But if you take the picture overhead, I have a couple of tips. If you look at the next slide, you'll see on the left, you can see the reflection of my hands and my phone in the mirror that has my name on it. But on the right, I angled the camera so it looks like it's almost overhead, but I just leaned back a little till you just barely see the reflection. And you don't have to have hundreds of items of green, you know, you can just do a simple little collection. So what I want to have you do now is, if you're near a parent who can set a timer, set a timer. But what should we say 5 minutes to gather the things and 3 minutes to take the picture?
I think that's a good idea, because we have, it's about 10:20 now, so that gives us 10 minutes total to get everything in place.
Yeah. I think that's cool. All right, so what I'm gonna have you do is everybody go to your room or your toy box or whatever and get a bunch of things. So take 5 minutes only and get a bunch of things of one color. And then take 2 minutes and take a picture of it. And then we'll meet back here and we'll do a show and tell. We'll have you hold your phone up to the computer so we can see what you saw. Does anyone have any quick questions before we start? All right, I think you could hop off and find some items, and let's do, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, right? Oh, Gideon, that's cool. Do you have other blue things?
We'll find out.
Oh, I love it. Have fun.
Okay.
Carmi's already off.
Okay. Go gather and take a picture.
I hear my kids running around upstairs gathering.
Oh yeah, they turned their video off and they went running. That's cool. Tara, you should do one too. It's really fun. Ella, I know you're doing an article, but you should join in too. It's like an extremely fun exercise. I did not know I had that much pink in my belongings.
And they don't have to be the same exact color, right? They could be
Nope, they can
the
be,
color family.
yeah. I feel like most of the things in my house are that strange, not quite green, not quite blue, not quite teal.
I don't think I have one particular color in my house. I'm obsessed with all colors.
I think
Oh, I love seeing the empty chairs with the flashlights and stuff of people like.
Oh yeah.
I think one of the rules of the game is that you have to put everything back. Isn't that right?
Yes, good call, Lauren.
It's 100% true.
Okay.
If it weren't COVID times, I would invite you all over to help me put my stuff back.
I could use some help too.
I feel like I get involved in a project and then I kind of get inspired and I hop to another pile, and that does no one any good. In the orange slide, the FisherPrice people that I have, my mom worked at FisherPrice before I was born, and we always got the coolest toys ever from like all her friends who still work there. But there were these FisherPrice adventure people, and they had all different jobs, but the only ones I ever saved were the women, because they were like the safari explorer lady in white and the TV news reporter. They weren't, I don't know, they just had like very cool careers, so I saved them, and I have them all sitting on my bookshelf.
Oh, that's such a cool thing.
Yeah.
You have to get them all in one shot at some point.
Yeah, like there's like the strong ladies of 1978 or whatever.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny because a lot of the photographs that we have on display in Doing Democracy are of women in the workforce during that time period. So it'd be interesting to like have the FisherPrice version next to the photograph of the actual women in the workforce.
It's so cool. And is the show hanging in McGinnis right now?
The street photography exhibition is hanging in McGinnis right now. Yep.
Street photography. Where's Doing Democracy? Is it in
Doing
the
Democracy is in our main galleries at Zollner Art Center. And we are in the process of still hanging it because of COVID. The frame company had to close down for some time period. So they are still in the process of manufacturing some of the frames that we need. But we should have all of them up within the next week, and everything is staged so people can see the photographs and interact with them. They're just not all on the wall yet.
Oh, that's really cool. Because you can make private times to come see it, right?
Thank you for reminding everyone.
I'm like being selfish. I'm like, I want to come see it in person.
You can come anytime. You let me know. It's anyone who is logged on today. If you're interested, I would be happy to give you a tour or to let you in to see, so you can tour yourself. But what's great is you can have the museum to yourself, which is such an incredible experience to see all of the works and to enjoy them in this like private, experience.
I love that. I miss it there so much. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was also, I'm still cracking up about the fashion plates when I didn't ever realize that they have patterns on the back. I was like, oh, well, see, it's good to still play in life.
That's why I never throw anything away, because you can always find a new purpose for them, right?
Right? I know. I'm like, whoa, there's a plaid pattern on the back. I will totally art journal with that.
I'm going to give our friends a reminder of time. So we have 4 minutes left. So hopefully you have your objects and you're photographing them, or beginning to think about what your photograph would look like.
Oh yeah, I saw Carmi zoom by at one point, so that's pretty cool. There she is. So fun.
Yes.
I love this too because there's like absolutely no wrong answer. There's just different ways of seeing.
I just found out that our dog ate mascara all over the place.
Oh wow.
Covered that when they went upstairs. That's good.
Oh, so your dog was into doing an art project this morning too.
All over the bed. That's great. Should get him in a photograph.
He's very photogenic.
Ooh.
Oh, those are so cool. Are you gonna make a little still life with them? Oh, Gideon, you're muted.
I got one red one and one blue one.
Oh, that's awesome. Those are two of my favorite colors. Are you gonna take their picture together?
Mom, she wants me to take a picture. Right here.
I see a lot of fun activity happening.
I know, I love it.
Okay, I got the picture.
Nice. Those are cool toys.
They're remote control.
Really? Do they work on carpet too, or do you have to take them outside?
They work on carpet and mud. And
Mud, awesome. I love it.
Finished.
All right.
Finished.
Good work, Fiona.
I'm all done too.
Everyone's doing really great with the timing. Alexander's here. Fiona, what color did you pick?
I picked light blue.
Oh, awesome. Is that your favorite color?
Kind of.
It's hard to have a favorite color.
Yep.
That's excellent. And then I see someone, I see a big pile of pretty stuff in Lauren Beck's frame. This is cool.
I took a picture of mine, so can I just show you the picture?
Yeah, if you can hold it up to the screen if you want, we can start taking a look at.
Okay.
You hold your phone up to the camera.
Mm-hmm. Having trouble. I'm really proud of how it turned out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. So, wow, how many objects did you fit in there? You found so much color.
I used white and blue, and I had six things. 6 things in the frame.
6 things. That's awesome. Was it hard to find them?
No, I was just looking in my room and I found it.
I love that. I think some people are coming back to the screen again. If you want to hold that up again so that they can see your pretty picture. I love that. And you kind of shot low on them and you can see the texture. That blue is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Are you going to do more colors later? They're really, I find that it's really fun to like, I'll start looking around and I'll be like, oh, I have a lot of green here or whatever.
I think Fiona's ready to show hers too.
All right, Fiona, let's see what you have. I'll mute me. Whoa, oh, that's so cool. Ooh, light blue also. That is beautiful. I like the angle and I like the way you have the nice surface of the table and you have this really great vertical composition. That is really fun. I think you're muted now. Oh, is that Gideon or Alexander's? Alexander's? Oh, that is so cool. Do you want to tell us a little about it?
Spider-Man is one of my PS4 games, and Avengers and Star Wars is behind it, and the orange and blue one is the Nerf gun, and I have I have a large Pokemon card and 4 Beyblades.
Was it hard to find all those in such a quick amount of time?
Yeah.
Wow, you did a great job. You have kind of like a low side angle going, which has kind of a cool style. Can you see that? Like you got the clean background of the couch and is that Gideon's now?
Oh, no, let's forget it. Hold on, we'll get that. Let's see.
Well done, Alexander. That was awesome.
Thank you.
You're a pretty good photographer. So while we're getting Gideon's, who's next? Like, oh, I see Kate Arrington. Hey. Oh, that's cool. Do you want to tell us a little about it? You're all muted.
Oh, no, let her have her turn. It's okay.
Do you want to tell about it? See, we're on now.
Okay.
So Lizzie's going to tell about her setup.
Hi, Lizzie.
I chose orange because we planted a pumpkin plant and we got so many pumpkins, so I thought it would be cool to do orange.
Orange is awesome. Also, I love the size. I love the size of the objects you picked. It's so cool. Like the way that the little characters on the side next to the snack and then the orange in the foreground, that's beautiful. I also like the complementary color of the blue on the label, making that pop. That's a really good color combination. I'm not just saying that because I went to Syracuse for grad school. Who wants to go next? I see Lauren Beck's screen. Do you want to unmute?
This is Emily's photo.
Hi, Emily. Oh, blue. This is wonderful too. I love this. Do you want to tell us anything about it? I know you're having breakfast.
I know.
No
Waffles.
pressure to chew.
We also did this. We tried a different angle like you suggested, which was cool.
That's so fun. I love how the blue goes off in the background and everything. And Mo Willems, such a cool author.
Right?
Yeah.
Used like a tulle skirt in the background to like give
It
it.
gives you great texture to go off. Very fun. I love that color.
Yeah.
The line of the book draws your eye back to the
Right.
back of the photograph. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
perspective.
So fun taking pictures because that's fun.
Emily was laughing because she used like little glass beads or like jewels or whatever, and she put them on the eyeballs of the elephant.
Ah,
Yeah, they have giggly eyes. Oh yeah, you can see your little studio set up there. See how she did that, everyone? That's really fun.
Yeah, we were
Hey,
cracking
blue
up.
Mancala.
Blue Mancala beads. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's another great idea. You can take things out of pieces from your games and just put them back, because then you'll be sad if you don't have the game pieces anymore. Autobiographical.
Great.
I think Gideon is ready. Oh, Gideon, whoa, is that on your fireplace?
Yeah.
So cool. Paw Patrol. I love it. I love the blue, and you have all the primary colors. You got the blue, yellow, red going on. I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you know there's more?
Are you what?
Did you know there's more? My dad got that from Walmart.
Whoa, that's awesome. Yeah, your parents are pretty cool.
Paul K.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let me flip ahead. What? That is awesome. Wow. Can everyone see that? That is so cool with the camera and the lens cap and the red. I love it. It's like monochromatic with the pop of red.
And the framing and cropping is really nice. And that's something we're going to talk about when we look at some other photographs from our collection, but how photographers use framing and cropping to tell a story or to draw our eye to a specific area in a photograph.
Yeah, that is really cool. I love that. That could be like an awesome print on a wall too.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody not have a chance to share?
Carmi, do you have one? Everyone who's grown-ups I know is probably like, great, you're putting the spotlight on me.
We have one more to show if all the other kids have gone, or two more to show. So we have the parent options. And
Okay, Carmi's here, and then we'll do the parent option. Let's go to Carmi. You want to unmute, Mary Ellen?
Okay, so.
Bruh, that's not the picture.
Okay, hurry up, show.
Carmi takes lots of pictures with her phone. But you don't have to show if you're not ready to. You can post it on your Instagram later. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow.
Wait, did I miss it?
It's the bear, and then the backdrop is like a cloth, and then the watch. I like that framing with the watch on the side of the bear.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome. And look how different all of yours look from each other. Isn't that cool, the way that you all interpreted things in different ways?
Wait. We go back to Kate.
okay.
Ooh.
Ooh. That is awesome too. Wow.
So we tried the chair trick, but I couldn't quite get close enough to only see the chair. Lots of pink things.
But you have that clear background with the cloth over the chair, and yeah, that's a lot of cool pink stuff. I like it.
A lot of pink in the house.
Which
I know
controller?
gray is not an exciting color.
I love that. Sure, gray is.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I love that. I love that you all did it. This is so. Did you have fun doing it?
Absolutely.
I love it too because it's like I have chaos and clutter all over the place, but then I'll build a little still life with just looking for all of one color, and I'm like, oh, I've created a small control system. It just feels delicious. Anyone else? Do you have any other parents? Oh, I
The
see.
story of my cleaning life. I just do this quickly so you understand what I'm dealing with here.
Are those Legos?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes. Just all. I don't know if there's a way to make those look good.
I love that. It's a very good explosion of color. I love it.
And also the trials and tribulations of parents and walking around barefoot in your house, right? With
I was
Legos on.
thinking about that. Yeah. This was really fun. You all did such an awesome job. I hope that you keep taking pictures like that because it's really, really fun. Okay, so now that you have all been awoken your brain, we want to talk about maybe taking some of the stuff we've talked about and the way you're looking at the world and taking pictures out in your neighborhood. And we're going to do that by looking at some of the pictures that are in the show. And I thought, and Stacy can tell us more about the photographers and stuff, but I was really drawn to this picture because if you're shy and you don't want to take pictures of people, it's just beautiful to look for things with repeating shapes and lines. And Stacy can talk a little more about this picture.
Yeah, so Mark Citrit is the photographer. He's an American photographer. And if you look, I mean, I think what's really interesting is he captured these geometric designs that were created by the shadow and the architecture within a building. So as we think about different times of day, so Christa was talking about photograph your world maybe in the morning and then how it changes in the afternoon and then in the evening. We can capture the way that light changes on physical structures or in our room or in kind of the world around us throughout the day.
I love that. And this one, I feel like a lot of people have pets. So if you want to explore the world a little more, you might look at taking a picture of your pet outside. This is probably a stray cat, but I love the lines in this one. And I love the way the cat peeking through that little hole. There's just so many beautiful squares and different shapes within this black and white photo, and the lights and darks in the picture are super beautiful. So you could look for things like this in your neighborhood or your backyard.
And if you think about the way that this photographer used cropping and framing, so this is actually the back of a truck in New York City, but we wouldn't necessarily know that, right? Because of the way that they cropped it and the way that they focused our attention on this cat that was in this, like, you know, a box structure. So the way that a photographer takes a picture tells a different story, or the way that they want us to focus on a certain area of a photograph. Similar to this photograph.
Yeah, I think I picked this one too because it had the same kind of cropping in a way. And I love that it's not really about any one specific person, but you get people and life in there. It's almost like the photographer is just standing still and the people aren't even aware that the photographer's there.
And also thinking about how you don't have to take a portrait of a person, right? Or a photograph of a person that includes their head to their feet, right? Like there are interesting ways to capture your subjects or the people that are in your photographs.
Yeah, you can learn things about that guy. Like you can tell kind of his age by his hands, and you can kind of, like, he's wearing a watch, and, you know, there's just different things you can get stories out of. What you can come up with stories in your head about what the people might be doing without even seeing his face.
Mm-hmm. And also one more thing to point out too is the perspective in terms of how many people are in this photograph and the way that this photographer captured this moment where there's the person in the foreground who's kind of larger and more present eating something, and then the young boy behind them, and then the person behind them. So the way that kind of draws our eye from the front of the photograph all the way into the back of the photograph. And thinking of things in numbers, right? Like there's 4 different people in different spots in this photograph.
Yeah, that's really cool. And this one, I think it is kind of well, it's interesting because of the time period that it was taken in, but I feel like you would very much still see people, they would just have masks on right now. But if they were outside in your neighborhood, if you're walking in a park, and it's street photography is sort of that you're no one's really paying attention to you. But I think there's such a beautiful story in this picture, and the textures and the tones and the way it's not taken straight on, it's kind of at an angle. It's very pretty.
And what's important about street photography is that it often is not posed photography, right? So it's a candid, kind of in the moment capture of your world. So these ladies are kind of just in this moment together, and this photographer is capturing that special moment in time. It might not happen again, right? So they capture these important kind of moments in time and moments in history.
Yeah. And then this was also interesting because of the perspective to me. I feel like, you know, if you're under 4 foot tall and you're still growing, that this would be a very natural perspective. If you're a parent, you could kneel down and take a picture to get this angle, but that's what drew me to this.
And a lot of the photographs that we're showing to you are photographers that some are trained photographers, but many are self-taught. They just spent a lot of time going out into their world and getting down on the ground or getting high up and getting different perspectives and trying things out, experimentation, right? And lots and lots of rolls of film back in the day is what they would use. But now we can kind of edit them on our phone. So you could take as many photographs as you want, as long as it's okay with mom and dad.
Yeah, and try it from all different angles and everything. And this one is not necessarily something called from the hip photography, but I picked it because I wanted to tell you about from the hip photography, especially when you have your phones. You don't have to necessarily look through the viewfinder. You know how you can use your phone or your tablet and take a picture with the volume button on the side, or you can hold the camera low, but you could very much take pictures. They called it from the hip because you're not looking and holding your phone up and looking at the back, but you can get very unique perspectives and more natural stuff sometimes that way.
I love that this photograph is also called When Women Take Over the World.
Yeah. That's a great title. So we were
Go ahead, I think I muted you by accident.
all good. We were thinking that maybe after looking at those black and white photos that you just saw, that you might want to do a little photo contest after this workshop. And if you go out and take pictures of shadows or light or things that are interesting and document your own streets and your own neighborhood, and you could get a chance to win a contest.
Yeah, so I have a link, and I'm going to send this to all of you in an email after this workshop. You can tag us on social media if your parents have a social media account and they're okay with doing that. Or you can upload it into this Google Drive. And again, I'll send you the link to it. And then we would ask that you do it by next weekend. And then we will pick a winner, and we will get in touch with you for some free swag. We talked about earlier, Lehigh University Art Galleries, we have our own sketchbooks, we have our own tote bags. So you'd win a tote bag and a sketchbook and some stickers. And then also you will win a framed print. So we'll have your photograph printed on campus and then framed, which we will send to you. So you have this wonderful opportunity to win some free stuff, and also to share your artwork with others and be featured on our social media feed. So we would love for you to participate. This is not only for kids, this is for parents and adults too. So we hope that everyone will participate. And you can share the photos that you took today, right, of their still lifes and their color scheme.
Absolutely, yeah, you could do the color series, or you could do a neighborhood picture for this contest. Have fun, explore around with it. And I think the cool thing is, since we're not all allowed to come together and hang out, seeing what peeks at each other's neighborhoods look like could be a really fun thing.
And I just wanted to remind you, if you go to our website at luag.org, you can look at the exhibitions that we have on view. And we have under each exhibition description, you can view all the photographs that are in these exhibitions. So if you can't physically come to us, which I'd be happy to give you a personal tour or to, you know, allow you to take a private tour on your own time, you can see everything online. So this is a great way to look at other photographers' work to inspire your own photographs as well. Looks like we have a question. Oh, Bailey, thank you. So we are grateful to all of you for joining us this early in the morning and for being creative with us. Thank you to Christa for giving us such wonderful tips to take our own photographs. I will share the recording of the workshop with you so that you can go back and watch it. But before we go anywhere, I wanted to see if anybody had questions for Christa, even about her own photography or things that you saw today.
I see lots of smiles, but I'm not sure if people have had questions. I'm so glad that you all came today and that you took such beautiful pictures. I hope you keep taking pictures and I hope you keep sharing them with us.
Do you want to share your photograph?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The girls ran outside to photograph their neighborhood, so they wanted to share their photograph.
Oh, cool. This can inspire you all.
Go ahead.
So my picture is like, so I made my sister sit on the edge of a hill, and when a car came by, I would take the picture, and it kind of looks cool.
Awesome. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a picture.
Oh, that's so cool.
The light is cool.
Yeah, the light is really cool. And I think that having the car drive by, it's like you got it at the perfect time. It's fully captured in your frame, and the way her head is framed in the driver window is really cool. I feel like if I tried to do that, I would not get the timing on that as perfect.
Yeah, the second one didn't come out too well, but still looks fine.
Right? Like the first, right? But you tried, and the first one, it's like the car door makes a perfect frame around her head. And you collaborated with each other to make the picture happen, which is so fun.
I like using portrait because it makes the background look a little bit blurrier, so it focuses on one thing, and I think that looks really cool.
That is an excellent tip. If you all have portrait mode on your camera, try that, even if it says I can't see a face in the picture, because it will blur the background out, and I'm all about the shallow depth of field. Thanks for sharing that. That's an excellent tip.
Anyone else have questions or want to share something they learned today or something that was fun about this workshop? I hope you're inspired.
I had photo workshop with Christa a few years ago, and then was just reminded today about just the importance of angles. Because I never think, you just point and shoot and be done, but just to see how nice a photo can really come out when you just change the angle. So that's something that stuck with me. I don't know when that was, like 5-6 years ago, who knows? But then to be reminded of it today. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, working on the angles is really fun. That's why that turning the phone upside down trick is very cool. The other thing you can do, like if you turn the phone upside down and then you can put kind of a mirror in front of it, and then it will reflect and kind of clean up your background, or you can use the bottom of another phone. There's all sorts of cool things you can do.
Before I forget, I wanted to mention as well, we have they're up on the screen now, but we have a bunch of really fun and exciting events coming up. On First Friday, October 2nd, in conjunction with Southside Art District First Friday event, we have an opening of Doing Democracy. It's outside. We're following all CDC guidelines. we're lucky to have teaching artist Lauren Beck, who's here with us today as well. She's going to be leading us on creating our own activism posters and buttons in conjunction with Doing Democracy and our upcoming election. So we can think about things that we care about and what activism means to us, and being a community.
I'll be right back. We're on this little photo workshop. All right.
And then we also have a workshop coming up on October 17th with Lauren in a similar format at 1 o'clock. So not as early in the morning, but in the afternoon. So we hope you'll join us after lunch to create your own activism poster and to learn a little bit about typography and lettering. And then later in November, inspired by faith
photographs for our child.
Story quilts, we have a workshop to create our own people quilts. So lots of opportunities to create our own artwork. So we hope that you'll check back in with us often. You'll share your creations with us. And we're so grateful for Christa for sharing her time and expertise with us this morning. And we look forward to seeing everything that you're documenting in your world.
Yeah, thank you all so much. This was wonderful. It's so good to see all of your faces today and the way you see the world. And I'm extremely excited about this poster workshop.
Thank you, Christa and Stacy. It's an awesome Saturday morning activity.
It was so good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh my goodness.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.